I'll give a minute for Vinod to join. Okay, not sure if Vinod is joining. Venkat? Yeah, Vinod. Venkat joined and he left back. Just will give a minute for him, Vinod. Vinod, you are able to hear me, right? Please share my screen. This network controls is the way how you can control which IP addresses you wanted to allow and which IP addresses we have to block. Example, we make a connection with so many other interfaces. Snowflake makes a connection. And all this connection common pattern is everything connects through HTTPS or TLS connections. Now Snowflake is present in some cloud service provider VPC, virtual private cloud. This VPC, which indirectly is nothing but a Snowflake, and with its connectors or drivers, it connects through using an HTTPS or TLS. Now, because these connections uses this HTTPS or TLS link, you can allow the IP addresses, or you can allow the IP addresses you want, and you can block the IP addresses you don't want. So IP allow listing available to restrict the client communication to specific IP addresses. So network policies provide an option for managing network connections to Snowflake service. It allows restricting access to your account based on using IP addresses. By default, Snowflake allows all users to connect to the service from any computer or any device. Who will have an access to this network policies? If you see, whoever has an access to your account level. So let's say you create some policy name. You can allow certain IP address 10.10. Create network policy test, and you can mention what and all are the allowed IP addresses and what and all are the block list addresses. Right now, they support only Internet Protocol version 4, IPv4 addresses. These are the IPv4 addresses. Right now, network policy supports only this IPv4. As I said, you can mention what and all are the allowed IP addresses and what and all are the blocked IP addresses. Any questions? Any questions? No,
Satish.
okay. Let us wait for Venkat. Okay. Or I'll give you an assignment. Let me talk about this Python connect. I have a certain time. How we can connect to the Python? First thing, we have a, if you go to our help, there is a download community. There are the Python components. This, if you wanted to install this Python, all you have to do is pip install Snowflake connector Python. If you wanted to have a step-by-step process, okay?
Hello,
Just,
Satish.
yes. Where? Yeah, Venkat.
Satish, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Satish?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Satish, are you sharing the machine? Satish, are you sharing the machine? But I could not able to see.
Yeah. Let me stop
No,
sharing.
are you sharing your machine?
Yes. Vinod was able to
Just
share.
I'm asking, are you sharing your machine? I could not able to see your machine.
Yes, Venkat, I was sharing.
Vinod, are you able to see?
Yeah, I'm able to see Venkat and Satish.
I think
Copy underscore history view is what is being shared.
I think he is having an issue. Venkat. I think Venkat is having an issue.
He got disconnected, Satish.
Yeah. I think he is having some issue, network issue at his end. Okay. Anyway, the recording will be there. Let us proceed. If I go to the documentation, okay, here, if we go to let me say connecting to Python. Using a Python. There is a step-by-step process. How Python we can connect to Snowflake. Very simple. Okay. If already someone is already aware of using a Python. All you have to do is first we have to install the package. First, Python package installer has to be set up. Once you set it up, you install the connector. Even that also you can use using the pip. Once you install the connector, we can verify whether the Snowflake and Python are connected. Just you can use this sample script. Using this, you can just try getting the current version of your Snowflake. Basically, you try to execute using a Python. This executes the Snowflake. If you wanted to see what is our Snowflake current version, you can check here. Should be some 5.6.1. This is the Snowflake current version. So using this test command, we can check whether our Snowpipe or whether our Snowflake and Python are connected well or not. So this is the simple installation. What you can do. If you go to the documentation, They have given you how do you connect using data frames, okay, or APIs, connecting through APIs. So there are multiple step-by-step documentation that is given in the, step-by-step process that is given in the documentation. Okay. And Venkat, you are able to hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear. Maybe you've gone to next topic. Satish, this is a Python connector or a
Yeah.
network policy?
No, this is Python connector. I think there
Okay.
is some network issue from your end.
Okay, you have completed that network connectivity, the topic.
Yes. I'll briefly. It's very simple. It's nothing but network policies is nothing but for you to allow certain IP addresses or block certain IP addresses. By default,
Okay.
Snowflake allows all the IP addresses. Now we did not set any IP addresses, right? Now anyone would be able to connect to Snowflake. But
Okay.
if you want to block certain IP addresses, IPv4, right now Snowflake supports only that. You can mention if anyone is trying to log into Snowflake using that IP address, they will not be able to log in.
Okay.
Or let's say you are in your office network. Office network, there will be certain IPv4. So your account admin will set, or they want you to log in only from the office space to Snowflake. They don't want you to log in from home. Then they allow only the office IP address. In that case, what will happen? You will not be able to access the Snowflake or your project account from home.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions?
Maybe Satish, next topic can we complete maybe next class, because already this class we completed 3-4 topics.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that is fine. I think I completed Python connector. This is also very simple. All you have to do is you should have the Python installed and you should be able to pip it. Okay. Pipping is also very simple. All you have to do is, this is for Python installer. Once you install the Python, you should use this particular. Once you use this, your Snowflake and your Python are connected. You can execute now your Python commands.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe okay, is that a possibility? That's okay. Maybe any sample we can see on next slide like that.
Actually, even I don't have Python installed. Because
Okay.
in my projects we are not using Python at all.
Reason why I'm asking is that so when we do only real time, we'll get so what kind of scenarios, questions, or real time challenges. That's the reason I asked. Okay. Yeah.
But if you have Python, right, it's very simple. That is why this first thing is, even I don't know Python. Okay. But most of the projects, even if there is a Python, right, there will be someone who knows Python and all. What we have to know as a Snowflake resources is, how can we connect Python and Snowflake? Okay. Now it's up to Python developers, right? How they want to access the data in Snowflake. We are not going to, we are the experts of SQL. We are not the experts of Python. But
so through Python, we do both import and export, right? To Python connectors.
Yes.
Okay.
You can do transformations and all using Python as well. Like even Python has a lot of what we say regular expressions, data frames. You can build some automations using a Python and all. But for that we should have a very good Python knowledge.
Okay, got it.
Okay, same thing what we do through SQL. Most of the things can be achieved even through Python.
Okay.
Okay, that anyway, even I don't, because even I am not much aware of Python. But there are projects that have automated automations that are implemented through Python. That programming is used for mostly for automation purpose. Because
Okay.
when you execute, again indirectly you'll be executing SQL commands. This is nothing but your SQL commands.
See, I have no inbuilt upload and so data extract. Why I go for Python, Satish? Just want to know.
No, what is that?
No, we have external, maybe internal data upload and export everything in the Snowflake itself, right? Yeah, commands and everything, Snowpipe, SnowSQL. But why again we go for a Python API kind of thing? Is this due to fastness or?
No, not due to fastness. Okay, and let's say you wanted to automate certain things. When you say programming languages has more capabilities than your SQL. Even that programming is in turn going to execute SQL to extract the data and load the data. Or let's say you wanted to build some automation, let's say validation automation between your SAP BW and Snowflake.
Okay.
Because you are trying to load from SAP BW, or I'm not sure what you said, SAP ECC, right? Okay, let's say SAP 2 and Snowflake. Then like you migrated the data from SAP and Snowflake. Now you wanted to have some validation too. What are the number of records in SAP? What are the number of records in Snowflake? Easy way is you can do a Python solution. Don't ask me how to do and all. I'm just taking an example. Even I am not sure.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
okay. So what it does, Python can connect to SAP. It checks how many records are there. Python can connect to Snowflake. It checks how many records are there. When both are equal, then it says the validation passed.
Okay.
This kind of automations you can do. But same thing you cannot do in Snowflake, right? Because you cannot go and check what are the number of records in SAP from Snowflake.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yes, got it.
Or let's say you are migrating some SQL from different database or SQL database or Teradata database. There will be some syntactical differences. What you will do when you use a Python to convert it to Snowflake syntax. Let's say few databases will support SCL star from table, only SCL instead of select. But Snowflake does not support. So wherever the SCL is there, it has to convert to SCLECT, select. This we can easily achieve using these programming languages.
Okay.
So these are the automation places where Python is mostly useful. Okay. For that, for sure, we should know the Python language, or in your team should have someone who is aware of Python. Okay. If possible, I have few automations that are done in my previous projects and all. I haven't done, but I can share with you so that you can see a reference how the Python programs looks like.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Any other things? Let us have a small quiz and then we conclude.
Okay.
Let me stop there and let me get. Which of the following loading methods will use virtual warehouse resources?
Copy.
Copy command.
It's a copy command. Snowpipe usage.
It's internal
Bulk data load.
Snowpipe uses its own compute resources.
Internal computers.
Okay. A copy command allows following options for selecting files for loading from the stage.
Specific path. Load all files in a specific path.
That's it. Multiple, select all that apply.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you can do using both. Either you can mention the path, we can mention a pattern. When you're using a copy command, there's a pattern. You can use the regular expressions in pattern and all. Or you can give the exact file names. All the three are possible. Snowflake allows two different styles of loading data. What are the two different styles?
Continuous and bulk.
The copy commands can load data from which of the following?
External stage and internal stage.
Correct.
External clouds.
Not from the tape drivers and HAT. It's only possible from external stage and internal stage. When loading a file through copy command, there is no way to partially load a file if errors are encountered. Either the whole file is loaded or nothing is loaded if errors are encountered. True or false?
So false. We can set whether we can load it fully or we can set the options actually.
What is that option?
Whether we can, if it's going to be error, we can stop, or if it error, we can bypass and go. We have three options.
On error is equal to continue, it will load. On error is equal to skip file, it will skip the file. If on error is equal to abort statement, none of the batch will run. You can control using an on error option. Function is used to find the query ID of the last executed query.
Select, I think, max query ID.
No. This I discussed in the last class during the what we say time travel. It is select last query ID.
Okay.
Which of the following is not performed by the virtual warehouse? Delete, insert, select, Snowpipe.
In delete.
No.
Snowpipe is not performed.
Snowpipe
is used the
Snowpipe
internal.
uses its own compute resources.
Okay.
Snowpipe. Which of the following statement is correct? The charges for data loaded through Snowpipe is based on how long the virtual warehouse is active. While the charge, okay, go through these options.
Yeah, its first one is correct. There is no difference between Snowpipe and copy controls. They are, I think,
read the
second one, second, which of the following statement is correct? I think both are correct only. So there is no difference between the Snowpipe copy command in terms of they are charged.
No.
Whenever they executed, they are charged, right? So
now which option? 1, 2, or 3?
oh yeah, second also. Okay. So charges for the data load through Snowpipe is based on actual workload. They are charged data is based on how long the virtual active status. I think second one is false.
Second one is false or correct?
Second one is false. It's incorrect.
No, I think there's no difference between Snowpipe and copy commands in terms of how they are charged. There is a difference. Snowpipe uses its own compute resources. Copy command uses virtual warehouses. That is what they mention, how they are charged. And the charges for data loaded through Snowpipe is based on how long the virtual warehouses is active. This is false.
Yes, when they compute only, it's charged. It's not waiting.
So the charges for data loaded through Snowpipe is based on the actual workflow. Runtime, like how long the file is processed. Only for that, your charges are done based on Snowpipe. While for data loaded through copy command, it is based on how long the virtual warehouse is in active state. This is the true.
Hmm.
See, but even if you are not aware of Snowflake, you can say this. The charges data loaded to copy command is based on how much data was processed, which is false. It's always how long your warehouses are active for virtual warehouses. Clear? Let's say if your virtual warehouse is active for 5 minutes, your data loaded completed in 1 minute. Still, you are being charged for 5 minutes, right? Using a copy command. Not recheck the options. I mean, go through the Snowpipe and copy command in the documentation, and we can discuss again in the next week. When loading data through copy command, it's required that your table and file from which the data is being loaded should have the same number of columns. True or false? Venkat,
I think
Vinod?
false.
False. It need not. When you don't, you can just use $1, $2, $3 to omit few columns.
Okay. So maybe I think from there I can omit and I can insert what are the data required.
Correct.
Okay.
Which of the following mechanism allows Snowflake customer to query data without loading it first?
I think Snowpipe.
No. You can query using a Snowpipe. No, right? Snowpipe is used for only data loading. I'm not sure if it is covered in your classes. It's a copy command. In copy command, you have something called a validation mode. Go and check. Is it covered? Validation mode.
Oh, I'm not sure. It's
No.
Even I'm not sure actually.
So what? Well, okay, I will quickly check on that. Snowflake copy command provides the capability to validate the data inside a file without actually loading it through. That is a validation mode. Let me show you that validation mode, and then we'll conclude the class. Yes. We were copying the data. Where is my copy command? Okay. When you are copying a data, you can have something called a validation. Validation mode comes in 3 options. That is all error records, and then sample records. Let me show you. Wait, let me log into a different account. I have taken this. I'm logging in. Let me show you. Let's say I'm loading the data from this stage. Let me see. Data is there in this stage. It has some 5 files, okay, or 4 files, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if I just use copy command, copy into from this file format, and I'm using a pattern. If you see, I'm using a pattern. Right. 0 files are executed. Probably I have already processed them from the stage. So give an option force is equal to 2. You see, when I'm copying, there is one error, whatever is the error. Even before copying, you wanted to see whether what is that error. You can use a validation mode, return errors. This will show what exactly is the error. It's not copying. It says how come there is no error? One second. Let me use on error is continue. You see, 1, 2, 3, 5 files are processed and context 3 is partially loaded. It has some error, so it has partially loaded. Now let me use a validation return errors. Will not copy. On error is continue because though it is a wrong file, we are using on error as a continue. It is not showing the error. Let me say on error is skip file and use a copy command. Validation. Why? See, it shows what are the files or what are the errors in the context. It is not loading. It is just showing me what are the errors. So by using this option, you can, before loading itself, you can see what errors you would get. Similarly, there is another option, sample records. You can see if this file is processing, how your sample records will be there. I think the session is being valid for only, I think, 40 minutes or something. If you wanted to see the sample records, this is not going to copy into the table. It will just show you the sample records. But in that itself, we are getting some error. If no errors are there, this sample return will show you some sample like this. When it loads, your table can have like this data. Return errors will work. These files I already loaded previously. That is why return all errors is only work. If some file you are loading newly, then you can use, if there are any errors, then returns errors also will work. Because these files I already processed, that is why the errors are being shown only for return all errors. That is the difference. Go and check validation mode again in the copy statement. In this copy into, there is something called a validation mode. These are the 3 options: return en rows, return errors, and return all errors. What is the difference between return en rows? It validates the specific number of rows. Return errors and return all errors, return errors returns all errors across all files specified in the copy statement. Whereas return all errors copy statement including with the errors that were partially loaded during the earlier load because of on error is equal to continue during the load. Previously, I used on error would have been continue. That is why return all errors are being shown. Only this particular command is working. Any questions? Venkat, Vinod? Okay. If not, we'll meet again next week. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the session.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.